Tell us why.
Well, because that's kind of the name of the business.
Right.
Fun Enterprises.
Fun Enterprises, Ken Abrams. Okay, Ken, what is it to be fun?
Wow, that's a loaded question. What is it to be fun, or what is it to be Fun Enterprises? They're two very different things.
Fun Enterprises, what is it? What's it all about?
Fun Enterprises is a company, and we're actually a little bit unique, or we were when we started. When we started, you had people that were talent agents and people that provided services. We actually started, and we were kind of a hybrid. We do both. We own and operate a lot of our own stuff. The kind of stuff that we do, people always ask, well, what is it that you do? We do a lot of different events, and the kind of things where you would have seen us are, we used to do all the Santa photos, for example, for Macy's when they were in Downtown Crossing in Boston. We actually provided the Santas, we provided the elves, we provided the photographers. Now we do a lot more of events where we come to you and provide an outstanding, fun experience for whatever event you might be having.
So you're like an event planner, a fun one.
Absolutely.
Gee, where'd you get that from?
Him. Okay, I'm the idiot. You ask the next question.
I was going to say, how did you create fun?
How do I do this politically correctly? I started doing this stuff in college, and that was really what got me hooked. I went to Connecticut College and worked on the student activities organization, which at that point in time was called Social Board, and I loved it. We did concerts, planning the events. I really liked it, and I was a sociology major, and Lord knows what do you do with that degree. I didn't want to become a social worker, and so I went out, and I was going to go to California and work in Hollywood and become rich and famous. And I had an uncle that actually was very involved in the entertainment business who said to me, stay on the East Coast, that's where your contacts are. Started working with a company that did non-mainstream contemporary music, which is things like reggae, blues, that kind of thing, and I hated it. And I made no money. My first year I made $4,112, I think was my tax return for
But
that
who's
year.
counting?
But who's counting? And another friend of mine worked for a company that was just getting into the field of novelty entertainment, and it was not a big field at that point in time. Most schools and most people, when they thought entertainment, it was bands, it was comedians, it was the odd magician. We actually started doing a lot of stuff with the kind of entertainment that most people had never even heard of. We started making photo buttons, and we had this thing called the Outrageous Obstacle Course. That company kind of came and went, and I wound up with a lot of the assets of that company, and we started our own. And I've had kind of different businesses or different, jobs throughout the entertainment industry. I booked wedding bands for a while, and I struggle with that because I realized that I couldn't really pretend anymore that somebody's wedding was more important than my own. I realized it was probably time to move on. And that's how we started Fun Enterprises.